Alright guys, so today we find ourselves here at Bone Valley Industries. Today I'm going to be giving you guys my full depth review of my chest rig that I went with, which is the Ferro Concepts Chesty rig wide V2. Before going with this chest rig, I was running a more dedicated sustainment type of chest rig, which was LBX, which is a sister company to London Bridges Trading, which is a company I like to support. So yeah, let's get into it. Cool, like I was saying, I went with a more dedicated sustainment type of chest rig, which is this LBX split rig. I used this for about a year before I ended up going with a more modular kit, which is something like this. I went with the more modular kit because I was going to end up taking courses this year, and I wanted it to be as slick as possible and not have as much pouches going on with, as you can see, more snack hazards. The good thing about this chest rig is it has two panels on each side where you're able to, actually either add or take from it. As you can tell, I run it as slick as possible. I just run a simple tourniquet and a simple GP pouch that I can put anything that I might need. So like I said, my mentality behind going this was I wanted something as slick as possible, and I also didn't want to pay the price. There's a couple chest rigs out there that I was looking at before getting this one. I was looking at getting the Dynamic Principles. I forgot what their version is, but they have a nice chest rig, but price was a big component in my purchasing decision. That one does go for about $220. I also seen the Agilite Reaper chest rig that they have. They have a micro, they have a normal, and then they have a more bigger one. I think they have 3 versions. Each one has 3 versions. I was gonna go with that one because of the price point as well, but I did end up finding this from Ferro Concepts, and I do not regret my decision. At the end of the day, this is very comfortable. I'm able to add or take from it if I need to. I could literally just change the placard system and add something more, either more slick or something, add more front panels or anything that I may need. Like I said, price point was definitely a big component of me purchasing this chest rig. I did purchase this chest rig for about $100, $120, just the chest rig by himself. And then I did buy this placard, just a placard, right? Placard mag holder for about $40. So I did end up getting the whole chest rig for about $140, $150, which is very, very good for a chest rig, especially with good nylon. And like I said, I was running that other chest rig for a very long time. My issue with that one is it is a double mag. You could put double mags in front of it. I didn't like it because when I take it out, I wouldn't be able to re-index back just because of the elastic and just the way it's designed. Fortunately for me, this one right here does run very well. I'm able to as you can tell, and if I need to re-index it, it's not very hard, very, very easy. Like I said, with the other one, the reloads were not as fast, which some people don't care about stuff like that. I don't either. But you can get a couple more pros. Why not go with something more like more modular, more slick? I know a lot of people like to criticize other people's setups. At the end of the day, this is what works for me. This is what I use in a couple of my courses that I just talked about in my previous video before this. And it's been running great. I haven't had no issues. Like I said, I am a member of the Open Gym, which is basically once a month we meet with a group of elite shooters. I'm not elite, they are. And we do stuff like this, just run around, do physical activity, just 10% shooting. So you want to be as comfortable as possible, because at the end of the day, it is hell out here. It's hot. You're dealing with shooting, you miss, you're mad, whatever. So you want to be as comfortable as you can. My only issue that I did have in the beginning with this chest rig was, since I am a bit chubby, I did have an issue where this would dig in, but it seems to have just worked itself in. I haven't had no issues with it no more. I haven't had it loosen up on me or nothing. From the moment I set it up, it has stayed the way it has. Now why would someone go with a chest rig over a plate carrier? In my opinion, you know, being that I have run a plate carrier before, you know, I'd rather go over run a chest rig, especially when I'm at a flat range like this, because at the end of the day, running around with 14-pound plates, I don't know about y'all, but it does hurt. And you know, being able to hold your mags and hold, you know, whether it be water, snacks, or your phone, or just whatever you want to hold on a GP pouch is, you know, wonderful. I am going to be upgrading this GP pouch. This one I received for free. I got it from Tango Fire Innovations with their weapon mounted laser rangefinder, so it was a free pouch. I am going to end up getting either a Spirited System, one of the large I can't remember the name of it, but a Spirited System pouch, or I might just go with a ferro pouch just to keep it all ferro concepts. But at the end of the day, this is a decent chest rig. I haven't had no issues with the comfortability of it. At the end of the day, you know, everybody has their preference and the brand that they like to support. Now, I like ferro concepts just for the simple fact that, you know, whatever they make is dedicated to that mission set, whatever it is. You know, at the end of the day, those guys target more or less SF guys and stuff. So, you know, a lot of us like to think what works for them will work for us. And the good things in this case, it did work for me. And like I said, I don't like with that one over there, my charging handle would also get snagged up on this and that. I just didn't like it. So as you can tell, it is pretty decent. You know, I have seen guys run some type of hydration pouches on the back. They molly them in somehow. I haven't came around to doing that, which I might end up asking one of the guys where did they get their hydration pouch for the back of their chest rig? Because, you know, at the end of the day, since we are out here, we do be out here for about 2 to 3 hours constantly, where it's just movement, and everybody's trying to get their shots in. So, you know, that way you can just save time, and instead of going out to your car and getting the hydration, you can run it on your back. But yeah, this is my small review of my Ferro Concepts chest rig. At the end of the day, whatever you guys run, comment down below what you guys recommend someone get as their first chest rig, or whether you recommend the chest rig at all. And like I said before, I like this chest rig. And let's say I was to run a SPR mattress or something, I could literally change this out to a bino type of harness setup and run it up front. I was saying, as you can tell, the Tigris matches with the GBRs though, which, you know, style is not everything as long as it works for you. But, you know, I like it. So let's get some shots in and let's see how the nylon straps do with shouldering the rifle. That being said, what works for me might not work for you. At the end of the day, you know, it's all about coming out here, getting the reps and training and figuring out what works for you. At the end of the day, I push training over buying Gucci gear. Until next time, really appreciate you guys staying and watching the video. Stay for the last bag reverse. Last shots, I did miss most of them. The first video that I had took, I did make them, but as you can tell, they're white and I could barely tell, which is my fault. I'm not gonna come up with no excuses. I am using polarized glasses, but at the end of the day, at 150 yards, that's pretty decent for me. For someone like me. But until next time, stay for the last Bible verse. Really appreciate you guys staying.
Alright, so today we find ourselves reading out of Hebrews 4:12. I'm just gonna read the one Bible verse, and it says, "For the word of God is quick and powerful, sharper than two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul, spirit, and of the joints of marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. Neither is there any creature that is not magnificent in his sight, but all things are naked and open unto the eyes of him with whom we have to do. Seeing that we have a great high priest that is passed into the heavens, Jesus the Son of God, let us hold fast our profession." Alright, until next time, guys. I really appreciate you guys staying and watching the full video. And like always, God bless.